Alright, hello everyone, this is Phi. Today we're checking out Aquametsis. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. This is a game I don't know anything about, aside from that it's apparently described as an immersive sim slash base management game, which is very interesting. I don't really know what to expect from that, but we're gonna give it a shot here. See if we can give some feedback. Go ahead and drop the overlay. Go ahead and check out our options menu. So we are in a borderless window. VSync is shown as disabled. However, it doesn't look as though we have an exclusive full screen option, so that's something I always ask devs to include in their settings here. Not only does it give you better frame stability, but it also allows you to disable by default. VSync is kind of forced through Windows when you're using a borderless window, so exclusive full screen lets you overcome that. So we'll see if that's going to be a problem or not in the game, because it does add some input latency. We got our mouse sensitivity there, field of view. It'd be nice to have a numeric value for these. I also noticed these sliders seem to be okay. This one has discrete values. You can kind of see it kind of snaps. This one doesn't appear to do the same. So although you might want to have, a high resolution of available settings for mouse sensitivity, it doesn't need to be like infinite. It's just a matter of being able to set it to a particular value, or say you want to if we pretend there are numbers assigned to this, let's say I have it on 25 or something, and then maybe I want to like put it up a little bit, and then maybe I just want to put it down back where it was or something, when I'm experimenting. And if there's not like discrete values like there are here, then it can be frustrating to deal with that kind of thing. So I always recommend for your UI elements to have discrete values. You definitely want to have a number value of some sort so the player can know, because there's no way to understand what this is set to. Again, if you're experimenting, if you're you want to set it to a particular value, there's not really any way to do that here. So that being said, we'll leave it as is for now. There's no way to click back in here. That would be nice to have, or I guess we can do that. Okay, well, let's not. Oh, okay, well, I did that accidentally. It's not the most intuitive to click on something else like that. I didn't check the escape key. Probably would have gone back. I usually use escape key for things, but it looks like that's doing pause and that's going back in the game. That's all what I expect. I think maybe I hit the 1 key to bring up the fist here. Oh my gosh, that's a funny punch. It's really slow. Oh, movement's a lot slower than I expect too. That's kind of trippy to look at. Wow. Yeah, there's definitely. It looks like the VSync is forced on as expected, so that's gonna cause some trouble, unfortunately. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of aiming and shooting. That's harder to be really accurate when you have that little bit of input latency, the VSync. Those look like shift makes us go a little bit faster, but altogether quite slow compared to what I'm used to. Sensitivity actually is pretty okay for my particular taste in mouse and everything at the moment. After jumping, press or hold space when the mantle icon occurs to mantle. So, okay, there's a little green thing. All right, simple enough. Run before jumping and touching any wall to perform a wall run. Oh, you can jump again while wall running. So similarly, we're gonna do run and jump and climb up there or something. I want to try this way. Okay. Nice. Okay. All Alright, so the difference between running and not running is really slight. I kind of wish that was more obvious. It almost feels like I'm not even sure if it's actually working. Which is kind of, generally you want things like that to actually be obvious, if nothing else, then to at least to ensure that the player feels confident that it's actually, doing what they want the game to do. But also, it can just be, maybe it'd just be nice to have a little bit more speed or something. It does seem like it's like when I'm moving left and right, like I can hear the sound change and it looks like the bob goes a little bit faster, but like I don't really know if it's actually moving faster. Left and right, it's like very, very slight. And I feel like maybe moving forward, the run is like a little bit more of a change. It actually looks like you might have a little bit of an acceleration over time. Yeah, okay, so it seems like you might build up some speed over time. The longer you're running for, that can be potentially can be something a little problematic if you have this effect where you have to get like a really long running start in order to hit your full maximum speed. Like if you have a situation where that's going to make a difference, that could be pretty misleading to players, because players don't really expect it to take a long time to get up to maximum speed, and it can also be a little bit annoying if, like, even if you know the ins and outs of the mechanics, you have to get a running start in order to make like a long jump or something. It can be kind of annoying to have to go like, okay, I have to go in here and I have to make sure I go over here and then turn around and then I can run and jump, and it just feels like you're wasting a lot of time. Whereas if if you hit your maximum speed quite quickly, which is what almost every game does, I wouldn't have to do all that. I could just say I could just jump from here, without like setting up this big long running jump, and it just ends up being more of a hassle than anything a lot of the time, especially if you've been playing the game for a long time. It's like you don't want to deal with extra steps like that anymore if it's not interesting. Of course, I'm preempting everything by talking about this without actually having played the game, but this is what I think about that, and it's something I've encountered before as well. So just sharing my thoughts there. I am dropping a few frames here and there. Again, if I could turn off VSync, it would be smoother here, but don't begin touching any wall, so we're going to go this way. I guess we do this. Simple enough. It seems to work well. Wait until the end of your wall jump to jump in order to reach further places. Okay, how do you know where the end is, though? Okay, what's going on down there? I'm going to fall down here eventually, but... Okay, so... Looks like I actually took some... Oh. Okay, I'm just now looking in the bottom left. It looks like there's... Okay. Interesting. Looks like we have separate health meters for different parts of the body, which is interesting. So that's why I kind of like... Looks like I have a little part on the top of the legs. It seems to have lost health from falling. Below that, it looks like we actually have like a stamina meter, which is interesting. It's quite generous, I would say, compared to what you tend to see with stamina meters. I guess we'll find out if other things heat up that meter or not. Press F to interact with the game world. Okay, so I guess I'm climbing this thing. Looks like it's meant to be a ladder. So yeah, we have this idea, wait until the end of your wall run, but... yeah, it's really just a... And it makes perfect sense, but you really kind of have to know when it's going to end. I think... Okay, I can't tell if I'm... Can't tell if I'm landing on the ground again. What I'm trying to do is see if I wait right until the last moment, and then it gives this little sort of indication when you stop wall running by the camera kind of shifting back into vertical. And what I'm curious about is basically like if I press jump immediately after that transition happens that says, oh, you're not wall running anymore, if it will still do the jump, like if there's a little bit of a sort of a coyote time type of deal where you have a few frames of a buffer, I guess you could say, where it would still do the jump. As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like that's happening. I think what's happening is I'm landing on the ground and then jumping again afterwards. So I would suggest doing that, because what that'll do is it'll allow players to maximize the distance, which is what you're kind of instructing them to do by using the full length of the wall run, them being able to jump without, punishing them for getting the timing wrong, which is it's just rather particular. If there's no way to really see it or anything, they just have to like guess, learn from a lot of experience exactly when that's going to end. But if you had a little bit of this buffer time, they can run, and then they can see, okay, I'm at the end, because there's this transition happening. And then if they press space afterwards, as long as it's, they do it quickly enough, then they could still get the jump, and then that would be a lot less frustrating. They're not going to take as much stupid damage, like I kind of did intentionally, more or less. And yeah, it's just a nice little quality of life detail that you can do here. Press your Q to lean. Okay, so we've got some leaning. Oh, okay, so it's a toggle. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so when okay, I guess we'll learn about that later. When I've encountered this mechanic in the past, it's usually been like you hold down the button, and then when you let go, it kind of straightens out again. There's potentially a benefit to doing this, because you don't have to hold down the key. Maybe that's just more comfortable or something. But one thing I noticed is, like, if I want to lean left or right kind of quickly, like, I have to go to the middle state before I can go back to the left state, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like it just is a little bit more responsive in a way to hold down the keys, and then you can kind of more quickly move between the states without requiring all these extra button presses. But that can also be something you could consider for like an option in the settings menu or whatever is there. By the way, I don't know. Okay, I think these are the only settings we have. NPCs can hear certain actions you perform. You will land without making any noise if you are crouched. Okay, so see us crouch. All right, so I absolutely prefer control for crouch, which is personal preference, but control is apparently being used for this, which seems like it might be an important mechanic. It seems like a dodge of some kind. By the way, uses a lot of the stamina bar. But so that brings up the issue that if I set crouch to control, which I kind of have to, which actually I guess we don't have key binding as of yet. Presumably that'll be implemented at some point, but if I set control to crouch, which is what I've used for literally every first-person game I've played, then I have to set this dodge thing to something else, and I don't know what key to use for that. I guess I could come up with something and eventually get used to it. It feels like something I would set to shift, but shift is run, so kind of want to leave that there. I'd have to figure out something else. But for now, I guess we're stuck with it the way it is. While moving, press control to quick step. It is a silent move and helpful when avoiding danger. So I didn't actually, I forgot about the crouch thing that I was supposed to do here. I should have done that. But actually, you might want to, this is probably like a placeholder tutorial. Like, this is probably not the final tutorial, but you might want to kind of enforce the player does something like this. Like, if you have a part where it the player can just walk through it without actually doing the thing they're supposed to, sometimes it's not what you want, because they might miss something important. Anyways, It is a little weird to have this like giant, I say giant, but this kind of loud grunt. If it's supposed to be silent, it doesn't suggest that it's silent, you know, the sound of it. Whoa, I broke my leg? Bro. Oh my. Oh, that sound is awful. So, does that happen randomly, or does that happen because I like ran out of stamina or something? Very interesting to make the player able to break their limbs just from doing normal movements. It's very unexpected. Is there a way I can fix that? So we have health station. Okay, did this just happen as a... Like, I thought it was from using this dash move, but was it just, like, was it just a trigger volume here or something that made me suddenly break my leg just to interact with this? Is that the idea of it? Leg trauma limits your movement. Arm trauma reduces your accuracy. You can see detailed info about your vitals, so that should be your, I assume. Your vitals on the health tab on your PDA. Oh, okay. Nice, okay. This is pretty sharp looking. A pretty well designed and laid out UI here. It looks easy on the eyes, and I feel like I can see everything I need to without being distracted by nonsense, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is nicely laid out. Head HP, chest, left arm HP, right arm HP, left leg, right leg HP. I feel like you could like color code the text here. That would help, because like when you're looking at a this kind of thing, stuff that's fine, you don't really need to stand out to you as much. But like if you have something bad, you want that to kind of jump out. Like, oh, that's probably what you're looking for when you open this menu, you know. So like you can make that like dark red or something, and then you know how that goes. Red, orange, green, etc. Oh, okay. Objectives, exit points. So obviously work in progress. Armor. Like we have a whole page dedicated to armor. Oh, look at all the different resistances. Okay. Antimatter damage threshold. There's 2 layers for every segment, I guess. Oh my gosh, there's resistances for every single thing. Okay. Interesting. We got carried weight, carried volume, batteries. Interesting. All right, let's get our leg. I pressed F. Am I supposed to do this one? What is that? What did I get? Did I pick this up? 0-point module activates ZPM machines seen around the world. Is that what this is? Wait, what? Do I have to press and hold? Why does it make 2 different sounds? I don't get it. Oh, I put it back? Oh, what happened? There was a dot in there. I don't know. I just started pressing the the F key a bunch of times. So, not sure what happened there. I don't know if that's working as intended or if I'm doing something wrong. If it's the latter, then maybe there's something that's just not entirely intuitive the way it's implemented here. This seems like such a simple concept. I don't know why I couldn't get it to work, but I can carry objects, hold F. This is something I'd prefer to be a toggle. Oh, it is kind of a toggle, but you have to hold it for some reason. Like just tapping it doesn't work. But then you hold it and wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, I guess it just drops it if you kind of run into something with the object. Okay. Yeah, that got me kind of confused there because I was like, am I supposed to hold it? Am I supposed to, like, does it just drop when I like let off the key? A little confusing because of the way it just kind of dropped it as soon as there was collisions involved. Um, that's interesting because usually games like this, if you collide with stuff while you're holding an object like that, it doesn't just drop the object. So kind of wondering what the consequences of that might be because it could just end up being, annoying or something, but I'm not really sure. I do also wish I could just tap the key. Oh, geez, see, sometimes it just... Yeah, okay. So even like, there's just a lot of weird cases where you can end up with collisions that are unexpected, right? So in that case, like even just trying to pick the thing up, like it kept kind of dropping it because there were kind of collisions, just in the way it was sitting here or whatever. I would be careful about this idea of trying to make the object drop like that. I can, kind of understand maybe there's an idea of it being realistic. If you just are clumsy, then there might be a consequence or something, but it seems like it's more likely to cause more trouble than it enhances the game. You know what I mean? The other thing is really small detail, but I would prefer if it was just I could just tap the key to drop instead of having to hold it again. Yeah. Oh, you can throw it, left click, adjust your throw power with mouse scroll. I don't... Okay, so I'm playing with the... Ugh, again, that's annoying. Playing with the scroll wheel. Wait, you're supposed to... Okay, interesting. The thing is, like, I use my index finger for, obviously for left click, but I also use it for the scroll wheel, so this is asking me to hold the left click with my index finger and then bring my middle finger over to the scroll wheel while holding it, and that's very awkward. I would consider doing something different there. I don't see any reason why not to just allow me to use the scroll wheel while I'm just holding it right here, just to set whatever I want that to be, and then when I throw it, would just do it instead of having to do this kind of awkward thing. And I also don't believe I can... Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a way to cancel it after you click and hold to throw. Like there's no way to say, okay, I changed my mind, I don't want to throw it now. Which is potential annoyance, a small thing, but what I would suggest is instead of having a click, hold and release for throw, I would just make it like a single press, and then, like I said, have the scroll wheel be able to set that at any time just while you're carrying the object, and then you click, it'll throw. Then you don't have the situation where the player's like holding it down, ready to throw, and then changes their mind. That won't happen if you just can't do that. What does this say? Pick up the items from below. Open your PDA. Select the inventory tab, right click on an item to see available actions. You can holster your equipment by pressing middle mouse button. Okay, we got use and drop. This is a health pack. Looks like we have... Interestingly, I picked up what appear to be 2 syringes, but it looks like I have 1 in the thing here, so I'm not really sure why. Doesn't... By the way, left click doesn't appear to do anything at the moment. So I can right click, open this menu, which is fine, but like, it's just weird to use like, the primary input on the mouse is just not doing anything. I guess it's... Okay, it's showing the details. I guess that's what it's doing, okay. yeah, I kind of would expect to, be able to move stuff around. Maybe this is just isn't implemented yet. But I am confused as to why I only have. It does say number of uses too, but it doesn't really suggest that I have 2 items. So that feels like it's counterintuitive, right? If I picked up 2 items, if this said the quantity or something was 2, or if it had like a little 2 in the corner of the thing here or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, I guess they just stack in this inventory slot, which is fine. But the language is kind of not what I expect there. Press F and then equip this drone. Press 5. Drones have limited operation range, energy, and health. They are great recon tools. Controls, activate is left click, deactivate is F. Okay. Here's that, and then I click to activate, I assume. Deactivate is F. Yaw is mouse, pitch, W and S, roll is A and D, ascend is space, descend is C, boost is shift. Okay, so here's this. I didn't expect to not be able to see anything. Okay, I have to click again for some reason. Why do I have to click again? Okay, so I've got, I think, why did I? Oh, it just automatically crouches when you're doing this. When you're using this for some reason. Okay, I have to press F again to deactivate that before I can uncrouch or whatever. I don't know if I like that, but okay. Yeah, it makes sense because all the controls are basically being occupied by the drone now. Okay, I do think it'd be, a nice thing if you just back up afterwards, though. And then we've got. Okay, I pressed F and nothing happened. Oh, okay, I have to click. So yeah, one thing is I think you should use the same input for like starting and stopping the drone. Well, I guess you're probably gonna use left click to do something else with the drone, I imagine. I don't know, it's just something to get used to, I guess. So send to space and we can move forward and backward, then we have, oh, we're like losing altitude. So it doesn't really maintain its own altitude. Wait. Oh, okay. Mouse is to do this. Yeah, so you have to keep like using the space bar, it seems, to maintain the altitude for some reason. Count back from 8. Right, so F. Then I have to do this. Then if I go over here. Wait, what? What is that? Why is it showing? Pick that up. Why does it show that when I look at this? This looks like a door, right? I don't know why it. Oh, these are the. Okay, and this is door panel or something, and then it's showing me the health of this door panel, I guess. Putting it on the left like that, it's like over my body there, and using the term health, it kind of made me think it was talking about my health. Is this left click? F? Okay. Yeah. So it's a little weird to combine pointing with the mouse input and a keyboard key like this instead of just clicking with the mouse, because that's that's how mouses have been used forever, is that you both like aim the thing and select the thing with the mouse input. So kind of splitting that between the mouse movement and the F key is a little bit weird. I would definitely like to be able to just click on these. The other thing is that I would use up all of this kind of empty space between the numbers to just make these colliders a little bit bigger so it's not annoying to click on this, because a little bit of particular about getting it right in the middle of the number almost. I'm trying to left click. Okay, so I guess I don't know what I did. Did I get a? I don't know why I pulled the drone out again. There's like it looked like a card or something. Was that like a key card? Does that unlock whatever this is? Why does it keep pulling the drone out? F key work on this? Oh, okay. So this is something interactive. Okay, so I had one of these before, I guess. For some reason. Bioreconstructor slot. Is this the bioreconstructor? I guess it's down there, okay. You die, you will spawn inside a bioreconstructor if that bioreconstructor is activated. So, got... Let me just do that, not selected. Reconstructions left 1. Interesting. You only get 1. Well, this is a cool thing, conceptually. Sounds kind of brutal, only giving me 1 extra life here, but... Right, damage, we got 8 damage types: physical, heat, cold, electric, radiation, biological, chemical, and antimatter. Kind of a lot to deal with all at once at the start of the game, but... And that's a nice sort of general concept to keep in mind, is that when you I pulled this thing out again. When you're talking about the you know, the final version of the game, when you're trying to tutorialize things, it's usually better if you, instead of just teaching everything all at once in one giant tutorial, it's usually better if you start with a certain number of things and teach the player that, and then have them, you know, kind of start to play the game or whatever, and then more gradually teach them more things over time, like as it becomes appropriate or whatever. With that, I don't want this to keep pulling out the drone. That's a bit annoying. Guns have 2 aim stances. Wow, okay. Oh, hip fire and ADS. So I think it's on 1. Nope. Is it on 2? Okay. I don't know if I like having the melee be on 1 instead of the primary weapon here or whatever. But that's okay. Wait. Oh. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. It's just so natural for me to hit 1 to pull out a pistol like this, but why does... It says there's 2 aim stances, but at the moment I have it like in this... I don't know what you call it. It's pointing at the sky. So I can aim. This is like the hip fire aim, and then we've got the ADS aim. But like, can I go back to the other thing? I don't really get that. Like, why have a third state if I can never go back to it, and it just only happens when I pull out the gun? Like, why even have the state at all instead of just going into this state when I pull out the gun? I don't really know the answers to those questions. I can cancel reloading. Why is my stamina lowering? These stances consume stamina. Okay. Oh, okay. There. Okay. Middle mouse button is lower your weapon, even though it's not technically lowering it. But I understand. All right, makes sense. Moving and shooting reduces your weapon's accuracy, which can be seen on your gun. Okay. Alright, controls are altogether pretty complex. I mean, I can understand it's a complex game. It is a little bit annoying that I can middle click to go into the state, but I can't middle click to go back out of the state. It just puts the gun away, and then I have to wait for it to take the gun out again after I reach for this button, which is altogether a little bit annoying. So it's like, okay, go into the state is middle click, then to go out is right click, and it's just like everything I want to do is kind of on a different part of the keyboard or on the mouse. I would kind of prefer if it was, you know, there's just little ways you can simplify things a bit if you can manage to have, you know, the button that does, like, have doing this be on one button instead of on two, you know what I mean? That would just be a much better way to do this kind of thing, especially because it does consume stamina and stuff, and just having to constantly think of like which button I have to bounce back and forth between you to do everything I want to do is can be a little overwhelming. Obviously you can learn it, but I also can't, like, if I left click while I'm in this state, it doesn't automatically go into a shooting state, which would be like this, which I think would be a good idea to do that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I have to right click in order to go into the state, and then I can shoot. It's all just, you know, more complicated than you'd get in, I think, any other game pretty much. Now it's not shooting yet. I don't know why. As far as, okay, how about the accuracy? It said that moving and shooting reduces your weapon's accuracy, which can be seen on your gun. Do you just mean the way that the reticle is bobbing here? I mean, if I shoot this way, I don't see anything that suggests that accuracy is going down. I'm not really sure why. Or what you mean by that when you're talking about which can be seen on the gun. And so again, how do I shoot? Oh, there's another thing here. Okay, shoot the glass after equipping. Shoot the glass after equipping, reloading, and aiming your pistol. It's equipped. I already did this a few times, but... Oh, okay, now it's green, so I guess I just didn't let it finish all the way. Oh! I think I caused the animation to bug out there. Yeah, if I spam the R key, it kind of bugs the animation. But interestingly, if the weapon was reloaded before and then I press reload and cancel the reload, it now isn't loaded anymore. I really don't understand. Okay, so I pulled out the magazine and then canceled it, and now it's not loaded, I guess. And I guess the only indication of loaded or not is that the site is red. So if I don't let it if I don't let it start to take the magazine out and I cancel the reload, then it doesn't unload the gun. Which kind of makes intuitive sense, but I feel like I would just prefer it if I cancel the reload, that it would just go back to the state it was in. Like, just, you know, think of it as just like shoving the same magazine back in, you know, instead of actually unloading the gun. I guess they're batteries, okay. Not really magazines. Especially this click sound that it makes when it ends. I would also change that. It's a little bit misleading. Okay, so interestingly, if you do press cancel late in the animation, it goes back into a hip fire stance. Like, I know some games have like a reload canceling where you can save a little bit of a time on your reload, which might be what's going on here, but I didn't expect it to also change the stance of the weapon. Ugh. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it's just meant to be that kind of thing. Yeah, so yeah, I would just personally change it so that you don't just pull out the battery and leave the gun unloaded. I don't know if there's any utility to that. It just seems like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But the other thing is I would just make it so that the sound is different if it fully completes the reload versus not. You know what I mean? Just have two different sounds. And any case, let's move on. I know I'm taking forever, but in my opinion, it's little stuff like this that makes or breaks game design stuff. After picking up, right click on an armor in your inventory screen and click equip to wear the armor. All right, so looks like that's hands and head. Goggles, it looks like that. So I'm used to using E to interact with stuff, but I have to think about using the F key here. Another thing that's a little annoying about, you know, wanting to have all these mechanics in the game, like, you know, for instance, you have like this dash move, but you also have normal running, and it's like, well, in other games it'd be nice if I could just use shift for either or, but because you have both in this game, now you have to use two different keys, and it's the same for, like, you know, you have your Q and E for the leaning, so now I can't use the E key for interact, which is what I usually use. Just the nature of this kind of thing, if you try and cram this many mechanics into one game, unfortunately. Armors block damage up to their damage threshold value. This is getting wordy. Have different amount of protection for each damage type, have a certain amount of power, HP, and can be recharged at the charging stations. If you have multiple armors on one body part, the armor on the top layer takes the damage first. All right. Shield the wearer's face from projectiles. 50 kilowatts of power. Head layer 1 coverage 90%. Oh, there's like a little time element to putting these things on, I guess. Interesting. Alright, sim stuff. Oh, what is it? Excuse me? I was not expecting that. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. How is he shooting me? Or whatever. What is... It's not visible. Okay. Oh. Okay. There's a guy here. Alright, so I'm assuming this is just another situation like with the broken leg before, where things start happening, and I'm assuming it's related to game mechanics, but it's just like there's just like a collision volume here or something, and it just like for some reason related to the tutorial, it's doing this thing. It's not really connected to anything going on in the world or in the game mechanics in a understandable way, so it's very confusing encountering these things. So I don't know if this is just, you know, rough edges are on the this tutorial at the moment, but it's definitely confusing. But yeah, I'm just assuming that was something related to testing out the armor I just equipped or whatever. I don't know. I am curious about what happens when you die, but I kind of want to avoid doing that now because I've already spent so long on this. All right, so this stuff, it seems like whenever you have one of these, you have to stick the whatever this thing was called in there to interact with the thing. What is it called? 0-point module. Seems like it's a battery or something. Oh, it looks like it has charges. 2 charges. 300 kilowatts. Okay, press F to charge rechargeable batteries or your equipped armors. Interesting. Charging station should have enough power to charge items. But, like, does it just charge everything I have on me? And why is there 2 buttons? Oh, okay, so this is 2 different things. Okay. Okay, so in the bottom left, the quote-unquote batteries that go in the gun, which are like magazines, it's showing me... Wait, let me, Okay, no auto reload. I keep trying to shoot, which is interesting. But yeah, it's showing me the charge down there, and then I can recharge that and use up some of that, and I can... Alright, that just sucked everything up. None of my... Oh. No, this over here is indicating health, I assume, and not armor. Which is a little interesting. I don't know. I guess maybe these numbers here are supposed to be, where it says power is supposed to be kind of the HP of the armor. Again, I kind of wish this stood out more and like color code this maybe. I don't know if this is meant to be color coded at some point, but I feel like I'm not really just like looking at this. I don't really get a sense of what the health is for the armor elements. And I guess it's not displayed over here, which is kind of... I feel like it's so closely related to your hit points that it would make sense to incorporate that in here somehow. Honestly, if I were you, I would maybe consider having armor. I don't know. I feel like there's a danger of overcomplicating everything, and I know it's very easy to get into this simulation mindset where you want to have all these little details about how everything works, and so armor has, you know, whatever this damage threshold is or whatever. So like presumably if something exceeds the threshold, then it like damages the health instead of the armor or whatever. It has resistances that are percentages or whatever. A lot of stuff that can end up not really meaningfully contributing to the experience, and it just ends up being kind of uselessly complicated, if you know what I mean. And on top of that, can just be complicated in a way that makes it hard for the player to interact with the game where it doesn't necessarily have to be. So when you can simplify out things like, you know, maybe just say the armor just goes on top of your HP or something, and then like once the armor is gone, then it starts damaging your HP, and it just sort of has a linear, you know, something easy to understand like that. Things like that can really help the other kind of more important parts of the game breathe more and just, you know, get this out of the way for the player to focus on other things, you know what I mean? And that kind of thing might be worth considering. Right now, I guess I have to click over here to see my actual health. But yeah, I don't really have any idea of how the things I've equipped are meaningfully going to affect what's going on here. Like, I know they're going to provide some amount of protection, but it's just like there's too many like little numbers and details to really have a good sense of what that's actually practically doing for me. And again, it's hard because there's so many like little details about like, okay, power and whatever coverage is, and then damage threshold and resistances to 8 different things, and you have 2 different layers of everything. Like, there's so many little details that makes it very difficult to put any of that information over here where it would actually kind of be a little bit more useful to view that along with your health, I guess. I don't know, but there's a lot of benefits to being able to simplify stuff like that, so it's worth considering. Batteries are used by weapons as ammunition. I knew that already. Charged again at charge stations. If they're rechargeable, each battery has different power stored. Each weapon uses different amounts of power per shot. Each weapon class uses different sized batteries. And then this guy's just chilling, which is very enticing to shoot at, I guess. so as of now, he doesn't appear to react to getting shot. But he obviously reacts when he dies. It's not really a reaction. Press B to whistle. Guards can be distracted. Okay, that's quite a reach. Seems like a useful thing, but this is a great example of something that, like, this isn't really the appropriate context to teach this for a couple of reasons. For one thing, it doesn't appear that I'm immediately able to use that at all. But the other thing is that there's just so many other little details about stuff that I've been learning that if you like throw something like this in there, it's like my brain's just going to shove this out so I can work on trying to remember everything else you just told me about. You know what I mean? So it goes back to that idea of for a more polished, final version of tutorializing, it's better if you can space stuff out and, teach this stuff and then let the player use that stuff that you taught for a while. And then once they solidify all that, then you can go on and you teach some more stuff and then so on and so forth. And that usually works out better. So anyways, that was the tutorial. Let's go ahead and try actual gameplay for a little bit here. After almost an hour of screwing around and talking at you.
Listen up, kiddo, because you're in a tight spot. You might be asking who the hell is this pipe walker, but that's not the point right now. What matters is you're staring down the barrel of a serious problem. Your company's in the crosshairs of some nasty-ass figures, and if you don't act, they'll pull the plug on you. Don't bust your balls yet, though. You've got the chance to turn this around. In that room of yours, there's a computer. Punch in your login and get that screen fired up. It's your lifeline, kiddo. Learn to use it. Time's slipping away, and those sharks are circling. This ain't no charity, by the way. Once you've dealt with those sons of bitches, we'll talk about what comes next for you. You're in deep waters, kiddo, and unless you start paddling, you'll be nothing but chump. Peace out.
Alright. Well, it talks for a bit long there, but yeah, I was kind of fumbling with the buttons here a bit. It looks like I have the pause menu open behind this thing right now. It's just kind of janky. Like I was trying to get out of whatever that was. It's trying to give me this advice thing. Welcome to the submerged world. Aquametsis. This screen is your kingdom, or rather your sinking ship in a sea of challenges. In September, you owe $100,000 to relentless loan sharks. Keep your bank balance above zero to prevent your company's downfall, or bad things will follow. Alright, so this feels like we're kind of almost going back to tutorial here. Because this is like fundamental information about playing the game, right? Not the physical interactions, but I guess whatever the base management part was. Recommended strat is hire a merc using the mercs button. Send that merc to the floating market location. Press the floating market button when the merc arrives at the floating market. Buy some equipment from the stock list. Send that merc to the North Falcon location using the send merc button. When the merc reaches North Falcon, select one of the missions. Good luck. Alright, so the thing is, it's nice to walk the player through this, but we're not really doing that. We're just giving like a list of instructions that I assume is going to disappear after I click on that got it button, if I can do that, which I have to pause the game to reach this, but I'm not going to be able to remember all these steps. It's just not going to happen. So, something to keep in mind if you want to get this, you want to get the player to do this, you're going to have to do it in another way, I don't know what these locations are. Like, I'm not going to remember all the location names and everything. Okay, we have controls in here, which is nice. Psyware wasn't explained yet. That's okay. Alright, so F is to open this, and then like oh, okay, it's still showing me this advice thing. Yeah, okay, it's a little janky, so it's annoying that if I go into this, it has the startup screen, and then it has to kind of like load into this, and then I can press escape and get out. But the problem is that like if I press F and then I press escape, I expect it to immediately go out because I press the key to do that. So when you have this kind of delay between the input and the action like that, it can feel really janky and confusing all of a sudden. If nothing else, if the player knows it's going to happen, it could be a little frustrating potentially, but mostly it's just like, you know, for even the new player experience or whatever, stuff like that can really throw the player for a loop because they feel like the keys aren't doing what they want them to or what they expect them to, and then they can get very confused very quickly. And it's one of those things that can really, you know, such a tiny little detail like that can start to make the player feel like they're not in control, or they don't know what they're doing with the input or anything. So there's just how to interact with the world in general. It looks like we have such stuff. Where is that? I guess it's just a flare. Oh, I guess the sun is right there. Why is it putting a flare over here? Looks like the sun is moving, is it? No, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a time of day thing going on here or what, but looks like we have a big open area here, which is interesting. Can I just run into stuff? What was that thump? I don't know what that thump was. I thought it was like I had to try not to run into the walls or something. Alright. Doesn't look like much in the way of... What the heck was that? Am I tripping? Am I literally just randomly tripping? It feels like Smash Bros or something. Oops. Wrong button. I'm trying to crouch with control. Alright, so back to the computer. Alright, this shows up again. Actually, you know what? Hire a merc using the mercs button. Send that merc to the floating market location. Wait 1 day, wait 1 week. What is the mercs button? Oh, okay, that's mercs. So we just click hire, I guess. Alright, just hire one of these. We got different salaries. Alright, that's a lot of reading that I don't feel like doing right now. They got all these stats. Skeletal strength. Oh, this guy is strong and cheap, I guess. Why is he so cheap if he's apparently a legendary? Huh. Okay. I don't know. Athletics and dexterity. Oh, this guy's cheaper too. High endurance. Don't know what any of these stats mean in the context of gameplay at this point. I guess we're... Ooh. Wait. Oh, okay. There's more on the list here. It'd be nice to have a scroll bar. Visible. So, presumably, I have one guy I've hired, and I click manage, and I guess dispatch. What happens if I click locate? Whoa. Just, I don't know. Is that just not implemented yet or something? Or... I don't know what that's supposed to be doing. It says Merc is at Mercenarium. Dispatch to the floating market. It said 25 days, I guess. Which, I don't know what the passage of time is doing. And that's something I'd like to know, because I don't know if this has any real-time element in terms of the time passage, or if it doesn't pass until I tell it to. That would be something nice to know. Oh, this thing shows up if I click on that. Okay. Wait, this is actually different, but it still shows the important first time advice here, so there's more stuff to read. I don't feel like reading all this right now. I've been doing this too long already without doing much gameplay, so send the merc there. Press the floating market button when the merc arrives at the floating market. So he needs like... Whoa, what is this? Your prized robot geisha has been hacked, leading to a peculiar change where it speaks with a Cockney accent and goes by the name Etherington. Okay. Offer customization services using this info. Embrace the quirky transformation. This is a very strange situation. I don't know what that means. Okay, click on that. Buy some equipment from the stock list. Okay, so did I need to send... I needed to send the merc to this place in order to buy the equipment, I guess. We're sending them to the... Okay. Just as some equipment. Look, I have plenty of money. Okay, so these do different types of damage. Holy moly, there's an awful lot of stuff. Yeah, so sort of related to something I was saying before. Be a really good idea to reduce the number of options that the player has at the start, because it's just too much for the player to really meaningfully deal with. So, you know, just simple ways to do that. Just have whatever place there's to buy things only have like 2 things, you know, the first time they go there, and then as the game progresses, then you can gradually add more things, and then that just does so much to simplify the new player experience, where they just don't have the ability to deal with this volume of information about stuff that they've never seen before, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't even really started playing the game yet. And like, look at this giant list of different things over here, which I guess this is the all items thing, but yeah, you know, that's a simple thing. And you know, you gave me the suggestion, buy some equipment, but like what? I don't know how to make a decision on like what is a good choice in this situation, because I don't know if I need all this. I don't know if I need none of it. I don't know if I need a weapon. I don't know if I need like a particular weapon. I don't know if I need to get multiple things like flash grenades and other stuff. And you know, obviously this is the early game, but I mean, I'm saying this wrong. This is early in development, so it's understandable that you wouldn't necessarily have everything structured out like that yet, but worth pointing out. So I'm gonna click on this. Why not? How do I do this? I guess make trade is the thing. I guess I just have it now. Yes. And shopping list. Interesting. How do I see my inventory since I just bought something? That would be something worthwhile, I think. Nope. Huh. Okay, well, I bought a gun, I think, but I don't see a way to see what I bought. Should be an important thing, I think. But we're gonna send Mark to the North Falcon. Why can't I manage him? Okay, I don't know if this is just not working or what the deal is now. Send Merc button. Okay, we have information that I'm not going to read. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to click on manage in order to send him. I said to use the same Merc in here. Ooh. I don't know, I don't want to hire another one. Okay, so I think this is the one I bought. Oh my gosh, the screen is hard to look at. I would suggest not having the background be these colors against this as the foreground, but send Merc out. Okay. Oh, that is very weird. I have no idea why the process of sending the Merc here, like in terms of the UI, is completely different from. Like that is very strange to put a button up there to get the Merc out. It is very counterintuitive, in my opinion. So I think you could do that one better. I guess we just go back to clicking wait. Ooh, I might have clicked it too many times. Seemed like it was going real slow. Maybe I don't know if there's supposed to be terrain here, like the, you know, crossing the water is slower than crossing land or something like that. I don't want to send the Merc out. I want to do a mission. What is one of the missions? If I click on here, job listings, presumably. Okay, let's do the cheap one, I guess. Relatively easy job involving a submarine construction project at North Falcon. Despite its simplicity, it carries significance to our client, requiring us to discreetly gather information about the submarine's specifications and potential vulnerabilities, secure classified documents from the submarine's secure compartments, disrupt critical systems to incapacitate the vessel. Drone shots. All right, we're gonna do this guy. Like, do I play as this guy or why is this? Okay, but like, whip. Okay, it's a little awkward. I wish I could just click and drag. You know, that would be. Well, I didn't bother to buy other stuff, did I? So how? Okay, so I have two choices for the drop-off position. This is an interesting thing, but it like I have literally nothing to base this decision off of, so like this is a completely meaningless choice, even though it's kind of cool that I can choose, I guess. So presumably the crouch is the quiet way to move. Oh. Okay. I touched the shift key for the tiniest moment and presumably he didn't see me. I don't know why he didn't see me just looking directly at me just now. I don't know if his vision is just quite short, which stealth games you kind of have to do that. So maybe that's why. But Yeah, so nothing's really been explained in terms of like how to handle stealth elements, you know, like other than the sound was mentioned a couple times. Again, I touched the shift key for the briefest moment and it immediately alerted the guard, so that feels like it's a little bit too punishing. I would suggest for something like that, you probably want to have like, in terms of the underlying design, you probably want to have like think of it like a meter, like an alertness or an alert meter or something, and it's like if you start doing things that are supposed to be loud or whatever, it'll like rapidly fill up this meter. You know, it obviously it'd be more of a value in the background or whatever, and maybe meter isn't the best word. You know, just a variable. And okay, so it's I guess just walking without even using the shift key will do stuff. But okay, he just run? Does he not have the ability to kill me? Oh, that was confusing. Okay. But yeah, the point is you want to have this little bit of a buffer. So if the player does like the tiniest thing that might cause a guard to go into an alert state, you don't necessarily want them to go into an alert state. What you want to do is have like a little bit of a buffer. So if they do like 2 or 3 things really quickly in a row, then it's like that will get the guard's attention. But if they just, you know, tap the shift button or something, or just do something tiny like that, it won't exceed the threshold. You know what I mean? So apparently I just can't walk. Oh, now he's shooting me. He just ran right up to me before and didn't shoot me. Sorry, it's hard to talk and do anything intelligent with the gameplay at the same time at this point. Guess I'm just supposed to crouch walk around. I pressed shift earlier because I was thinking it was the control key that was supposed to be silent, but no, what on earth kind of weapon is that? What is he? Where are they shooting me from? Like I could see the bullets coming at me, but I couldn't actually see the person shooting at me, which is weird. Like I don't know if he just shot and just immediately moved, something like that. Like usually you want the player to, you know, give the player a little bit of a chance to see where the enemy is and that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, it looks like they're head glitching. Are they head glitching? You shooting out of your eyeballs? I'm trying to get him to shoot at me again. Did I see? I was supposed to buy the ammunition for the gun, I guess. What is he doing? So I don't have any ammunition. The AI seems to be pretty broken, from what I can tell. That is not the right key. I don't have any things to recharge. That is very effective, I guess. I tried to crouch there, but I hit the control key, which did not save me. So, let's see what happens when we die here. We're back here. I guess I failed the mission. The merc attempting the mission has been killed. You can rehire a clone of this merc. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we've got extra money. This is just a demo. I guess I know better what I'm doing now. A little bit annoying that I have to buy the weapon and the ammo separately and everything like that. It's just like needlessly... I don't know what the word is for that, but you know, maybe just give me a package deal where you buy the gun and it comes with ammo, but then you can buy more ammo if you want to, you know what I mean? Oh, maybe it's the muscular strength. That's why my punches killed instantly or something. I'm gonna hire this guy. I'm gonna click the X. He's gonna be in here. Manage, dispatch, locate fire. So I guess I have to go and buy stuff again, which is kind of silly. Right? So I don't feel like I need more than a pistol for my first mission here. I don't know. Buy the pistol and a silencer. Why not? Health pack sounds useful. We got some armor here, trousers. Yeah, see, I think you should, I don't know, maybe just have the mercenaries come with basic armor or something. Because again, like if you start with nothing and you have to, like, the player is kind of expected to just go through all these steps of buying all this, like, stuff that you should just kind of have for your first mission. It's just a little bit much, you know, it's just a lot nicer if you can just give the player some stuff to start with. And like I was saying before, you won't overwhelm them so much with having to deal with all these things. Weird lizard genetics thing. But I was looking for the ammo that I don't think I had any of. Why is that? Oh, there it is. Okay, I kind of wish this wasn't on such a small scrolly thing so I could, you know, you could, I feel like you could easily make this a lot bigger so I could see better what I'm buying all at once, because this kind of limiting my ability to see that there. All right, escape key. I have to click on this, send Merc out. Is awkward, but you do that, and then he is, I guess, back in this screen for some reason. I dispatch here. All right, let's try this again. Equip all this stuff. I guess I have to one by one transfer all these things. It's just a little bit annoying doing everything individually like that, but we've got that there. What is this thing again? So how do I, is this even, I don't know how to use this or if I even can. I'd like to attach that beforehand, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess we got some trousers on. Nothing else is on, but we're gonna go ahead and just click back here and then take on, I guess. Prepare, I already did the preparations. Oh, proceed. These buttons kind of blend into the background there. So I don't know what these locations are, but I'm gonna go back here where I was. All right, now like I don't understand. I guess anything I did not crouching, the guards started noticing me. They just crouch walk everywhere. I don't get a sense of where I should and shouldn't go at the moment. There's a chargy thing here. Go up here, and there were a couple guards here. I don't know if they were just because I alerted them and they ran over or something. Where did they come from? They came from up there or something. I don't know what this is. Green thing. Picked it up. It'd be nice if like a little text popped up maybe in the corner of the screen or something, or even at the bottom where it says like picked up X. Oh, what the heck? This is all completely empty. What's up with that? Okay, so even though I apparently... Oh, maybe it undid all the stuff I did before about equipping the Merc before. Like I would have had to do it again because of like because I had clicked out of that interface screen or something, and now I just don't have anything equipped. Okay. But like, where am I supposed to hide? Like there's not really any obstacles to hide behind or anything. Like how am I supposed to do stealth stuff? Am I just supposed to shoot him to death with a gun that I don't have? What did I even pick up? It's not even any, like I don't know what happened with that thing that was on the wall. Oh, let's see, and then punch. Ooh. Control, punch. They're really good at dodging. Yeah, it just seems like they're like reading your inputs and stuff, but well, somehow I'm punching with a, well, I guess it's my left hand that I don't have. My left arm, I mean, is just gone. So I guess I'm gonna go, hopefully that guy's not gonna shoot me from an insane distance. By the way, oh, what the heck? There's a gun here. No, I can't pick it up. I mean, I do have a broken arm. Oh man, you should totally be able to pick that. Maybe that's just not implemented yet or something. Wait, what the? Oh, okay. How about I die? Okay. All right. So I guess the only thing to do is try it one more time, see if I can get an actual gun. I think I just have to run and gun this mission because I don't see any reasonable means to stealth it, honestly. So we're gonna see how that works. If I can get into there with an actual weapon for a change. All right, let's go back. This. Let's hire this guy. Click on manage. This is really goofy. But wait. How do I just see, I don't know how to go back to just my inventory and like I guess the only way to see my inventory and to give stuff to the mercs is to select a mission first. It's all pretty awkward. I guess I have to do this because like I don't know what I mean I'm assuming I don't have anything because actually no, because before I bought stuff and then I apparently didn't actually like give it to the merc. So is he? Wait. Oh, he's at the Mercenarium. He's going in there because I sent him to do that, but combat speedboat, where did this come from? I guess that's what he's in, but there's no items in here. Clicking accept isn't working at the moment. Thankfully, escape key did. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I bought stuff before that I didn't actually manage to give to the merc that went in and died. So I don't know how to get to that stuff again. And that's a bit troubling. It's weird that he is apparently at the Mercenarium, but I can't tell him to go to the Mercenarium. I don't understand that. I can only tell him to go here. Maybe it's just other stuff. Maybe it's just a limited implementation for the demo here or whatever, but let's go ahead and do this, I guess, and hopefully if I click on this, No, I don't want take on. I want pair. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Oh, there's transfer all button. Yeah, I don't know what happened with this stuff from last time. Maybe it's just a bug after all. So I have to click on Mercs. Manage. It'd be so much nicer if you could just see like a little picture of the Merc on here and you could just click on him and then just like click go here or something like that instead of having to go through all these menu screens to get to something like this. Wait. No. Okay. Mercs, manage, dispatch here. We got midnight breach, criminal agents broken in your HQ overnight. Now everyone staying there has to change their biometrics or you risk gaining a lot of heat. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. We're going to run and gun. We got lasers. Laser SMG, we got a silencer I couldn't figure out how to use. We got batteries right here. We need a couple of those. UAV. Polymorphic tool. Electronic scrambler. Deload. Meta shield. Brain power. Interesting. I don't know how this kind of thing works. Like, I don't know. You have to equip that and unequip it, or like, does it actively use up resources, or do you like use it passively? You know, stuff like that. I don't know. Got a helmet. Why not buy a helmet? Let's buy this. Let's buy this. Let's buy our health packs. I don't care about the lizardgenics. I gotta get into this game and do something. Alright, let's go with this. Click the X. Actually, I need to go send Merc out. Send out to here, I guess. And then I'm gonna go this. Yes, click on this. Take on, prepare, transfer all, equip, 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 equip. Got that there. Proceed. And hopefully it'll work this time. Okay, I have a gun. I can't believe you have to load it like that first. It's really silly. Does that really not go through? Oh no. Whoop. Oh my gosh. Why is he oh gosh, he changed direction so quickly. No! Alright, yeah, so there's this. Oh gosh, I went through that many bullets. I should have bought more ammo. I don't know how else to do this besides just killing everyone, so. Wow. Okay, he just started shooting like under his. Started shooting under his arm. Standing his back facing to me. That was pretty weird. Alright, so a few things here. Alright, so it's really important to manage your AI in such a way, particularly in like a stealth game, any kind of shooter game as well, but stealth games in particular, you have to be careful about not being too punishing in a lot of ways, because you have to give the player room to, sneak through the cracks and be able to do things successfully. And basically, some things that come to mind would be, for one thing, you want to like limit the range of the enemies in terms of sight and, both for detection and for shooting. So you don't want them to be able to shoot you from like across the map. You definitely want to limit their accuracy, because if they're shooting at you, you don't want them to have like every single shot just hit you automatically or something. some of these guys, I guess they had like some kind of shotgun or something. It was just like a spread that just flew into me over and over again. It looked like it was very accurate. So yeah, you want to give the player chances to avoid, like, even if they're getting shot at, they don't have to take every single bullet. You know what I mean? So you can do stuff with enemy accuracy to limit them that way. You definitely want to have some reaction time type stuff going on. So if you go into line of sight of the guy, you don't want him to be shooting, like pulling his trigger to shoot you like the instant you go into line of sight or whatever. That's where you get these weird situations where it's like he wasn't even facing me, but he was shooting me with his gun and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff like this where you just put all these limits on the actions of the enemies, and that'll allow the game to kind of open up where the player can start doing all this stuff, that'll actually progress them, and it's sort of like breathing room for player to do all their mechanics. By the way, even if you're kind of obsessed with realism, it really doesn't take that long for a human being to reach their maximum speed. Like you pretty much get there pretty quickly, so kind of goofy. But in any case, yeah, so what else did I see in there? I guess I don't know how to approach this mission because it doesn't feel like the level itself is presenting any opportunities for stealth. I haven't been made aware of anything like light levels like you'd see in Splinter Cell, for example, and other games like Thief and everything, for stealth mechanics. I don't know of any. I didn't see like patrols. It didn't look like there's a lot of patrolling going on that you'd see in a lot of stealth games, and like Metal Gear Solid, where you see all the vision cones around and you have to kind of path through them and stuff like that. Like, I didn't really see any of that happening. There's just kind of giant wide open areas, and there's not even like obstacles to hide behind and stuff like that. So aside from potentially going in and like buying some of these items that are meant to incapacitate enemies and trying to use those, I don't really know what I'm doing in that level to like actually succeed there. I felt like, okay, I'm just gonna have to like just shoot, kill everyone. I thought maybe, because this wasn't presented as a stealth game explicitly, and I know that when you talk about immersive sim games, it tends to be like stealth, just kind of tends to be almost implied a lot of the time. Like, it's not strictly necessary, but usually the two go hand in hand, right? But nothing really told me that I would necessarily have to use stealth, there was no expectation set on me that I should like not be doing something like running and gunning, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it seemed like I would have had to, well, for one thing, I would have had to buy a lot more ammo than I anticipated, because I didn't have any idea how much ammo I would need, which apparently I'd need a lot of it because I ran out of it so quickly with that gun. Oh, by the way, another thing I noticed, it's really annoying to aim at enemies when they change their movement vector like instantaneously. Like if they're going to the left and then they just like instantly start moving to the right, versus having some inertia, which means that they have to decelerate and then accelerate again in the opposite direction. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can put some inertia on the enemy movement, that'll help a lot with actually aiming the weapons, because like it's really annoying because you see the enemies kind of going this way, and you kind of for me it's natural to like try and put the reticle in front of where they're going, when I'm trying to aim and shoot at them. But then like if they just immediately start going in the other way, it's like I just completely miss a shot and that kind of thing. It's just one of those things that it's not only unnatural, but it's just frustrating in that way. So that's another little thing that would make a big difference. Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of janky. I'm not sure if I should try and do anything else for this. I feel like it's I know that guy died. I mean, I'm kind of starting to figure out the UI and stuff, but it is like a lot more steps than I feel like it ought to be. And there's some like functions that are hidden in places that are hard to find and stuff. I mean, you kind of already figured that out by my confusion over things. But, you know, conceptually it's interesting that I'm hiring these guys, and I guess I play as them as well, which is cool. On a conceptual level, that's cool to me that we're doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think we've got cool ideas in here. I don't know if like the AI and the level design is gonna really allow me to meaningfully do anything. I just hired this guy randomly. And yes, we go to manage, dispatch you to the market, I guess, again. And it's really kind of goofy to have to do this every time. Like, hire someone and send them out to fetch things from the market. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like why even do this? You could just have a button for market or something. It would just simplify this a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, so again, my armor, ranged weapons, weapon attachments. Yeah, I don't know how to stealth around the enemies, and it doesn't seem like just shooting the enemies is a good idea either. Unless I like really get a lot of stuff, I guess I'd have to have like tons of ammo. Like just buy everything I can. I don't know. Should I just buy everything? At this point, I'm finally running out of money, so do the laser SMG. I don't know. Hip fire accuracy silencer I couldn't use. Should I just like load up on all these? You got the the UAV. It was never explained what you could actually do with it, so that would be a helpful thing, I guess. I mean, obviously you can like scout around, but okay. But like, I I have to get tool chips in order to use this item. So like, why can I even buy this? I don't know. Does it come with them? I don't really expect anything to come with anything. My experience with this game so far. Spyware programs. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. Flash grenade deload. Meta shield. I don't know. Let's just use the money, right? It's like half of my money already. Get some of the armor things again. We need the health, I guess, again. Oh, it's over capacity. We have a vehicle capacity. That's interesting. Is there like, like, are we adding these with an intention that this mechanic is going to do something like solve a particular problem or something? It just feels like it's arbitrary to have this kind of limitation be added in here. I don't know. Boy, especially considering how fast you go through the freaking bullets, because it's like you need like a magazine to kill one person, it seems like. I don't care. We're gonna do this one more time. Alright, Merc is going out to North Falcon. Like he didn't get very far in 2 weeks this time. That was kind of weird. Or maybe it's just related to his stats or something. I don't know. Okay. Pipe Walker. I don't know what that means. Hack the console and... Wow, that's a lot of objectives. Alright, we're doing this. We're transferring everything. Oh, you can only hold 4 maximum? Is that the idea? Oh. We have a helmet. All right. Yeah, I don't know what these are, so let's click on this one. This looks cool. I feel like I'm just gonna instantly alert any guards around with my noise or something. I don't know what these buttons do. Running feels so pathetically slow. It's annoying to click on that just right. And I think you could do with making these colliders a little bit bigger here. Oh, we got this thing this time. But I don't have the thing. Kind of a cool concept though, this idea that you get one of these doohickeys and you can use this thing, so maybe you can find one of those doohickeys in the level here. Oh, look, there's even one right there. Look at that. I get 3 of them. Why does it disappear? What does that do? The first time I found one of those, I thought it was something I picked up because it disappeared when I used the button on it. So, do we just drop down here? I forgot you can mantle. What is this? I cannot uncrouch. Okay. Okay, I guess I can get through there. Why is this? It's possible to get through here. It's just extremely awkward for some reason. Okay, yeah, I guess that's what you were meant to do here. What do I just take this giant ball? Forgot to hit the C key. Tried to hit it at the last moment there, but I guess I just take a bunch of damage. But is there a way out of here? Is this not intended? Am I just like dead in here? What is this? Where else am I supposed to go? Bro. Did I just fail another mission? Like, is this a soft lock? Boy, the amount of effort it takes just to put one of these things into a shootable state. Oi. Like, what on earth is going on here? Do I really just have to, like, is there even a way to kill myself or go back to the mission, select screen, exit points? I think you need to add like a abandoned mission button or something. Get out of here. I really didn't. I didn't expect this. Is am I missing something here? It's really dark in this corner. I mean, this just looks like it's supposed to go this way, right? Just an air vent. Yeah, so I guess I am soft locked. So I don't believe I can do anything other than click on quit game, and then I guess I'm going back to the desktop and provide feedback apparently. All right, so that's gonna open up a Google Docs form for me, but I guess we're gonna wrap this up finally. Yeah, so okay, let's actually look at these questions here. So they have some multiple choice questions here, which you're not going to see on the screen for this video, but it's asking if the controls were responsive, if the gunplay and combat was enjoyable. Let's just answer these one at a time and in the video here. So the controls were responsive. I wouldn't say so necessarily. Moving around is okay. The controls are complicated for one thing. Switching weapons in particular, I noticed, doesn't feel responsive because it's like you really have to wait for the animation to complete, and then like you have to press the button, and then you have to wait for the next animation to go, and stuff like that. That's not what I would consider responsive. So weapon switching in particular is a thing that could improve. Apart from that, just the amount of steps you have to take to like pull out a weapon and put it into a state where you can shoot it, it just seems kind of excessive, and I don't really see that contributing to the game in a positive way. Like, it's arguably interesting in a simulation sense, but I would say, in my opinion, it's not very interesting. Yeah, so I feel like there's things that could be streamlined a lot there. Um, but and like the run speed thing is another thing I mentioned a lot. But obviously not everything is bad, and like the mantling and stuff that worked out well. And I guess wall running. It's kind of weird to have like a sim focus game and then have a wall running. But that was all pretty interesting. Combat and gunplay was enjoyable. So I think the enemy AI isn't really in a state um, where I can agree with this. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like it's hard to really play the game at this point where the enemy is so unpredictable, and when they do shoot you, it's like you can't really avoid it. I don't know how to avoid them noticing me in the first place and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't feel like that's in place yet. It just seems like you have to add some of these more mechanics, which I kind of already mentioned. A lot of this limiting elements to the AI in order for this to um, start playing out well. So it starts talking about I use gadgets other than weapons, found them useful, enjoyable. I didn't really use any of those, so I can't really talk about it. Enemy AI was good. I disagree with that pretty strongly. I would say it's not in that spot yet. Difficulty was spot on. No, not in my experience. It was I didn't really feel like I could complete the missions, so I liked the visual style. Um, yeah, I thought it was fine. It seemed like a lot of stuff was kind of placeholder. I feel like the levels, what little I saw, the levels were kind of empty and open, which is both related to the visuals as well as the actual gameplay. But in terms of the assets, and yeah, it's cool. Performance was adequate. Actually, yes, but I would have liked to have been able to disable VSync properly with an exclusive full screen mode. Sound effects in the mix were good. Actually, I thought um, the guards were a little quiet. I didn't really pay much attention to the audio. That did kind of stick out to me because it seemed like they were giving some feedback in terms of them noticing you and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't give that much attention to it. General thoughts, pros and cons. So yeah, I kind of already mentioned stuff. I feel like overall, conceptually, it seems really cool. I like the idea of like you hire the mercs, you send them around, and then you get to actually play as them and do the missions. That seems neat. And you have all these layers of complexity and the simulation of operating the mercenaries and all of the health stuff and everything. There's a degree to which I think that stuff is cool, and there's a degree to which I think it's sort of excessive, which I kind of already mentioned. Um, so there's something to be careful about, I think. And when you can streamline some things, it can really only help the game, in my opinion, because you take something that's just sort of a complication that's just kind of in the way of what the player wants to do to kind of play the rest of the game, and you turn it into something that just doesn't get in their way, if that makes sense. So there's parts that are engaging and interesting, and then there's parts that are just kind of needless complexity, I guess is a simple way to put it. And if you can sort those out as much as possible, then you'll be better off. And yeah, I feel like the stealth and the enemy AI and stuff is just not really there at the moment. So would like to see that more developed. I don't know what are there at this point intended ways to approach the levels? For me, it was just like fine. I just kind of walk around until an enemy notices me, and then the enemy starts killing me, and then I try to kill the enemy back, and that was kind of my whole experience. Like I don't know how to stealth. I don't know how to. Well, I know how to shoot them somewhat clumsily, but it like uses so many resources that didn't work out too well. So I don't know, but would be interesting to see. Very interesting game. I think a lot of polish. Could be really cool. I don't think I've played something that combined that immersive sim element with other meta elements like this before, and I think I didn't get a sense of the gameplay of the, what was it, base management or whatever, very much, aside from this sort of, just move the merc around, and obviously there is like resources in the form of time and the stuff that's happening over time. But like I don't feel like I spend enough time in that mode in like a serious way to kind of judge what the mechanics, like make judgments about how I feel about the mechanics in that management side of the game. If they're good or bad, or if there's problems or not. I don't really know. But just the idea of kind of being able to send mercs around and like do this and that, but then also go like kind of zoom in and take control of the mercs and stuff. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I'd like to see more of that. And I'm really curious to see where the game goes from here. From what I understand, it's in an alpha state. I don't know how long it's been worked on or anything, but hopefully this video is useful for you. I know it's long, and it's kind of just the fault of what you made, because I mean, all my videos are long, but they're usually not quite this long because I usually run out of things to talk about at some point. But, there's just like a lot of stuff to try to get through here. And yeah, I hope you found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.